Hi guys, Candy Toy Box here. Today you will need some pony beads, scissors, a lighter, a needle, and I have a few feet of string. You're going to start with 4 pony beads, any color that you want. I'm going to do yellow. After you have those 4 on, go ahead and tie this. Cut that off. And then on the other end, you're going to put your needle on. We're going to go through 1 yellow. You're going to add 1 yellow and go through this one. You're going to add another yellow and go through this one. And you want to pull that tight. You're going to add another yellow and go through this one here. We're going to add a yellow. This time we're going to go through these 2 beads. For this next row, we're going to add 2 beads instead of 1. So we have 2, and we're going to go through this bead sticking out. And make sure you're pulling the string tight. We have 2 yellow. We're going to go through this bead sticking out right here. We're going to add 2 yellow and go through this bead sticking out right here. This time we're going to add 2, but we need to go through all 3 of these beads to start the next row. And this is what it looks like so far. You're going to add 2 yellow. This time we're going to go through the 2 yellow that are sticking out right here. We're going to add 2, go through these 2. Add 2, go through these 2. We're going to add 2. This time we need to go through these 2 here and these 2. So all 4. For this row, we're going to add 3, and you're going to go through the 2 that are sticking out. We're going to add 3 and go through these 2. We're going to add 3 and go through these two. We're going to add 3. This time, to start the next row, you're going to go through these 2 and these 3. So a total of 5. So all of these right here. That's what it looks like so far. We're going to add 3, and we'll go through these 3. Adding 3. We're going to go through these 3. Add 3. Whoops. We're going to go through these 3 here. We're going to add 3. We're going to go through these 3 and these 3. You're going to add 3 and go through these 3 here. We're going to add 3, and you're going to go through these. You're going to add 3 and go through these 3. To start this next row, we have to go through these 3 and these. We're going to add 3 and go through these 3 right here. I know this is a little tricky because they're all the same color. You just have to, you can kind of see the beads that are sticking up that you know you need to go through. Might be easier if you look at it this way. You can kind of see where the beads need to fit in for the row. So we're adding 3 and going through 3. We have 4 rows of just 3, so I'm just going to keep doing the same thing for a while. Adding 3 and then, whoops. And then every time you have to start a new row, you have to go through a total of 6 beads. So these 3 and these 3. Goodness. Okay, we're at the end and we need to start a new row. You go through these 3 and these 3. And if you look this way, what we need to do is we need to keep putting 3 sets on until we have 4 rows. So right here we've done 3. You can count. There's 3, 3, 3. And if you turn it over here, this we've only done 2 sets of 3. Hopefully that makes sense. But I mean, you can kind of look at it here. But the end game is to have 4 sets of 3 for this row and for this row. So on this row, this will be our 3rd one. So we're going to keep adding 3. I guess I'm explaining that because if you want to skip through after this part, you can. But I know this can be a little confusing with all the colors being the same. So I wanted to not edit anything out and show you the whole process. Okay, we're at the end and we need to start the next row. So we're going to go through 3 and 3 more. Now if you look, after we finish that row, we have 3 here and 3 here. So we have 2 more rows to do to complete all the sets of 3. I wonder how many times I've said 3. We're at the end, so we're going to go through these and these. So at this point, you should get the hang of what we're doing. Okay, we're going to go through these 3 and these 3. Now to double check and make sure you have enough, there's 4 sets and here's 4 sets. Now we're going to add on 2 and you're going to go through 3. We're going to add 2 and go through these 3. We're going to add 2 and go through these 3. Add 2. We're going to go through these 3 and these 2 to start the next row. We're going to add 2 and go through 2. We're going to add 2 and go through 2. Add 2 and we're going to go through these 2. Wait a minute, see, I can't even see what's going on. Oh yeah, we have one more set. It gets a little tricky when it's all one color here. Okay, so we added our last 2 and we're going to go through these 2 and through these 2. Now we're ready to start the next row. We're going to add 1 bead and then you'll go through these 2. We're going to add 1 and go through these 2. We're going to add 1 and go through these 2. You're going to add 1. We're going to go through these 2 and this one. So these 3. And I do want to mention that next week's tutorial will include these. So if you want to get a head start, I'm going to make 6 of these. I think that's all I'm going to need, but I'm going to do 6 in every color. So if you want to get a head start, you can make these ahead of time. We're going to add 1 and go through 1 bead. You're going to add 1 and go through 1 bead. You're going to add 1 and you're going to go through this bead here. We're going to add 1 and we need to go through this bead here and this one. Now you can tie this. And if this is too big, you could use smaller beads. Like if you did this with mini pony beads, then you would have a smaller ball or round beads or whatever kind of beads you want to use. Like I said, if you want to get a head start, go ahead and make 6 of these up for the tutorial for next week. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.